G'day and welcome to another episode of Building Ideas, a show thanks to the Master Builders Association of South Australia that loves telling stories about building and construction. I'm here in Glenside in the heart of the eastern suburbs in this bustling residential project. In fact, I'm standing in a yet to be completed apartment tower which is being constructed by our feature partner Sarah. This development is an example of the team's commitment to their clients' needs, which includes timely delivery, cost savings and quality construction. Today we're going to take a deeper dive into the award-winning work that the team at Sarah are doing, but there's more. So let's have a look at what else is on the show.
Along with learning about the varied and innovative things happening at Sarah, Terry checks in with our friends at HomeStart to learn about their shared equity product. I visit One Rundle Trading to get some advice on interior decorating, and our House Inspect Australia team check out the steel frames on a residential build. As always, there's a lot to see and do, so let's get started.
One of Sarah's business pillars, which is fantastic, is developing great relationships with their project partners. So in finding out more about this and the great work they're doing, I thought I'd hear from the big cheese, CEO, Adrian Esplin. Adrian, Sarah have been around for 60 years. That's a hell of a long time. What's the secret sauce?
It's interesting because you sort of stand back and go, wow, you know, 60 years. And I think the foundation of that's built on family and good values. So, you know, our values are all around, you know, people first, being solutions focused, and being part of what the South Australian fabric is.
You are doing so many cool and good things across so many different sectors. It blows me away. Innovation must be at the pointy end of that. How do you guys innovate?
Being innovative is about getting ahead of the curve and looking at bringing technology in and new ways of doing things. So one of the most recent innovations that we've done is obviously the modular business that we've established, which is a response to not only just the market, but where we challenge ourselves to think differently. And that actually helps what we do as a business as a whole, because that's brought in a whole lot of additional digital innovation that we use on projects such as this. Had we not had the modular business, we may not be using the extent of digital innovation in our current Sarah construction projects.
What about sustainability? I know that that's also top of mind for you at Sarah.
A lot of our sustainability drive is actually driven by staff and driven by, you know, some of our younger staff. So in the competition for good talent, you know, you've got to have a lot of elements to your business that you care about. And, you know, sustainability is one of those. So what I really like about sustainability is it's, you know, part of our values, but it's actually driven from within. So, you know, we're installing solar where we can. We've got our solar container, which we take around to our larger sites, which, you know, generates power to power our site offices, grey water treatment. We've purchased our first solar vehicle, and we're actually looking at ultimately getting to a point where we have a carbon neutral position as a business.
HomeStart have been helping South Australians buy their homes for over 33 years. Their innovative range of products has seen them become a trusted and specialised loan provider for thousands of South Australians. They know all too well the challenges many of us go through to get that ever-elusive home deposit, and they love helping people reach those goals. Today, we're going to find out a little bit more about their shared equity product. And who better to talk to than HomeStart's Chief Executive, Andrew Mills. Andrew, obviously the proof's in the name somewhat, but what is the graduate loan?
Well, the graduate loan is something that HomeStart's really well known for because it's a loan that lets you buy a home with a deposit from as little as 2%.
Wow.
And there's no lender's mortgage insurance either. Oh. So that's a huge amount of less time that you need to save up your deposit.
That's amazing.
And cover up the upfront costs as well. So it's helped thousands of South Australian home buyers. We've been offering the graduate loan now since, well, over 20 years.
Wow.
And what's fantastic is the name says graduate, but it's really all about people who've got a Certificate 3 or higher qualification.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but there's over 250,000 people in South Australia who have a Certificate 3 or higher qualification.
So that's even if I got the qualification 10 years ago.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So
So we'll take that into account. And in fact, we're probably the only lender in the world, I believe, that does this. And we recognise the value that education brings in showing that someone is going to be able to really get into home ownership and stay there.
I'm going to say to my kids stay in school.
Exactly.
Because you get a graduate loan at the end.
That's what it's all about. We put that value on education, unlike any other lender out there.
Is there any flexibility to the loan for the home buyer?
Heaps of flexibility. So standard things with HomeStart, you can of course choose a fixed rate or a variable rate.
Yep.
You can make voluntary repayments. You
Yep.
can discharge from HomeStart whenever you wish and refinance to another lender, and that's something so many of our customers do once they're settled and established.
Yep.
And that's terrific as well. When you're shopping to buy a home, house prices just keep going up sometimes, don't they? And it feels like that.
Yeah.
And that's where HomeStart can really help out, because we have products like the Advantage Loan. And the Advantage Loan can give you a borrowing boost of up to $70,000, depending on your income.
In addition to
your HomeStart home loan.
Oh, cool.
And what that means is it can really help you get into home ownership sooner. And that's why HomeStart exists. That's why we do these things.
So I've got the graduate loan.
Yep.
I'm servicing it. I'm looking after it, but I realise I need more money or my costs have gone up. I might be eligible for this Advantage top-up.
That would be something that would happen as you're applying for the loan.
Sure, okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So if you're going through the loan application process and you feel like it's not going to give you the buying power that you need to get the home that you need, the Advantage Loan might be something that can help you,
Great.
as might be shared equity or something similar like that.
What about the repayment safeguard with the graduate loan?
This is a really unique feature of HomeStart, and it's a really important one right now. We've seen interest rates go up by a lot in recent times, haven't we? And a lot of people are worrying about the effect of interest rate rises on their home loan repayments, and rightly so. Yeah. But with HomeStart, it's really different, because with HomeStart, your home loan repayments, they don't change when interest rates go up. So you don't have to worry about your home loan repayment going up as interest rates go up. It's going to stay the same. So you just take that stress out of your life.
That would give so many people so much peace of mind.
Peace of mind's absolutely right. That's exactly what it's giving them.
Do you know what would give me peace of mind? You buy me a coffee.
Sounds good. Long macchiato.
So if you're interested, give the local HomeStart team a call and have a chat, or jump on their website and look at their free home buyer education program. How good was it to hear from HomeStart Chief Executive? Andrew and the whole team are so passionate about helping South Australians navigate the housing market. Their range of products, there's something to suit the various needs and circumstances of most South Australians, I'm sure of it. So, if you're looking for a loan, start the conversation with HomeStart. Jump on their website or pick up the phone.
When Sarah aren't constructing stunning apartments, they can be found working closely with the Department of Education, helping our student generation learn the tools of the trade by offering site tours to get that first-hand construction experience. So Alana, this looks like a pretty good place for students to come along and learn. Tell us about what types of activities and opportunities are available here.
Yeah, so in partnership with the South Australian Government, the Department for Education and Sarah's has been offering site tours and career talks. So we've gotten the classrooms to come out to site and actually experience what it's like in the real world and what trades are on site and professions that they can get into in the industry.
Like even just looking around, it's just a hive of activity, so I can see how that would be really inspiring for the students. Do you get really good feedback from the people involved?
Yeah, we do. So students, parents, the staff for the schools, they're all really, really excited to be here and have asked a lot of different questions as well about what the trades are like.
So do they ask lots of questions and really want to know about how this all works?
Yeah, so they're asking about how long it takes to get the project done, what kind of skills and subjects that they might need to be studying at school.
Yeah.
So we're offering them some advice and pathways of how they get into that field. So we offer a work experience as well on some of our sites. One of the previous programs we ran in Whyalla Secondary College was a fantastic outcome because we had 27 students participate and about 10 of those went on to do work experience. And I think most of them ended up getting an apprenticeship-based opportunity.
That is so good. And the skills that they're learning are being influenced by the employers as well, are they? In terms of, you know, getting the right skills to match what's needed in the industry?
Correct. Yeah. So the Department for Education helps us with organising with schools the correct skills and licences that the students may need to be prepared and get an apprenticeship with one of the trades that's been working on site. So those have been really successful.
The thing I love about this is that these students are not only getting a feel for the real industry, but they're also getting to learn the skills that are going to be most valuable in the real world. So when it comes to getting a job, they're going to be a step ahead. And that makes this the ultimate classroom. Adding those finer touches is what makes a house a home. Your home. It's an extension of your personality, and the ladies at One Rundle Trading are always there to help. So Josephine, tell me, when it comes to transforming a space, how much of a difference can art make?
Jessica, that is probably the last piece in the puzzle, but one of the key pieces. It breathes life into an interior and it makes the interior memorable. And that's essentially what someone wants to create.
And I get the feeling from talking to you that you guys really pride yourselves on having something that's really unique.
We hunt high and low. We have things created. We have a whole bunch of artists who paint for us and who paint to commission for my clients. So that helps us be able to bring really unique things into an interior. And we create bespoke interiors. So from the ground up, we've got tradesmen that make fabulous furniture. We've got really gifted tradesmen who can finish walls with special plaster work. You know, we've been doing this 22 years now. So we've got a whole bunch of friends and colleagues that we work with really closely to make sure that what we do is special, memorable, functions well, and makes people happy for decades.
And what about when clients come in and they've got a space or an idea, but they kind of go, I don't really know what I'm doing. Can you guys sort of help, and can you sort of take over and transform a place?
It sounds very bossy, but we're very happy to take over. And sometimes clients say, look, I am so busy, I'm not going to be back for 6 months. I haven't even seen it, I bought it online. Could you please sort it out? Wow. And that's kind of terrifying, but a huge compliment. And very satisfying.
Wow.
And I really enjoy that work. I really appreciate the confidence people put in me, and I really enjoy that process, and it becomes quite consuming, but really, really, really fabulous.
I have to say, you might find it hard to come in here and not walk out with something true. Can't blame him. Everything in here is truly unique. This place really does ooze style, and after you visit, maybe your place will too.
After seeing the site tours Sarah offers for students, I was interested to know more about what they do in and for our schools.
Education's one of the big sectors that we work in. You know, if you look at the Adelaide market, there's a lot of work in education, retail and aged care, retirement living. Education is something that appeals to us as a business because we're a business that's built on relationships. And so what we're about is not only just the customers that we work with, but their customers and how they're going to use it. So the nice thing about education is this is ultimately about what we provide that provides for the kids and provides the best form of infrastructure for kids of the future. Our most recent larger projects, the schools, SA Schools Triple P, as well as the Whyalla High School, they really stand out. Because of the complexity and level of significance in that these are brand new facilities that will educate the kids of the future in our areas of most need where South Australia is growing. You know, when we talk about building great relationships, at the heart of that is that there are a lot of people that can put up steel, pour concrete, erect precast. The relationship is about actually understanding who you're working with and who they're ultimately providing for. You know, the St Peter's project was fantastic, and again, you know, the work that we do with the independent sector, you know, that's a once-in-a-generation project to, you know, go into the grounds of St Peter's, which is like going back to Hogwarts almost. You know, when you see the infrastructure there that was built in the 1850s. Steeped in history. Steeped in history. And there's a lot of respect that as a business and our team that we've got to pay to that. So that as soon as, and whenever you go into those sort of buildings, what you think that's there is often very different. It's fantastic going on that journey where you're actually preserving the frame, but essentially ripping out the internals, lifting a roof and creating a two-storey, you know, facility in what is, you know, an important part of South Australia's heritage and also the school's heritage.
Seeing your home come out of the ground, it's an exciting part of the process. Last time we caught up with the team from House Inspect Australia, we talked timber frames. Today, we're talking steel frames, and here's me thinking that the process for a timber frame inspection is the same as a steel one. It's not, and I want to know more. Billy, tell me a little bit more about the stabilising of wall frames and like the tying down of trusses. That's an important part too.
All right, Terry, so when we want to stabilise these wall frames on a great span, you know, really, you need to make sure that this wall always stays level, plumb, and doesn't want to move as much as what it can. So the best way to do that there is to make sure that we, you know, stabilise these walls with brackets.
What are you looking for? Because there's a lot of blue steel.
All right, very important to make sure that these rafters and these trusses are tied in together.
Right.
So when we're dealing with this here, we need to make sure that they're either bracketed off with 2 screws.
Okay.
And we need to make sure that they're nice and straight and plumb for the roof purlin and roof sheets to be fixed to.
This could be an old wives' tale, but back in the day, people used to say, oh, if you had a steel frame home, you could hear it talking to you at night.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why people were nervous to use a steel frame home. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, look, back in the day, that was true when steel framing wasn't as big as what it is today.
Yeah.
Steel framing has come a long, long way. A lot of R&D's been put into steel framing since back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Where the creaks were from is just purely based from the control joints of noggins and studs, your bottom plates and top plates.
Right. Excuse my ignorance, but am I right also in saying that if the steel frame part of the process is done correctly, then the next stage of the house is going to work well? For example, windows. Like, what's happening here?
Definitely. Look, if you haven't got straight walls and they're not level, you're going to find that your window's not going to be level, which is going to be really hard for the next trade, especially if they're bricking up or you know, even with a Hebel cladding. You know, it's really hard to get your cladding level if your window's out. So yeah, it's definitely important to make sure that your window is level. And the great thing about this steel framing here is when they're manufactured off-site, that they take into consideration the allowances and tolerances for windows, just in case they do need to move a little bit. There should be a 6mm tolerance around each window opening.
Mate, this would be the most important tool in this process, wouldn't it?
It is.
This is your best friend, isn't it?
This is my best friend. This one's my best friend, and this one here is my best friend's best friend.
Here's what I'm learning about the team at House Inspect Australia. Get the professionals to do what they're good at. And there's none better in the business than House Inspect Australia to keep an eye on the build of your home or your renovation. They keep you updated every step of the way, and they work with your builder. No brainer. Whether it's delivering residential projects with their development partners or improving the infrastructure in our schools, Adrian and the team are certainly keeping themselves busy. Their passion for innovation can be seen in their work, and their focus on sustainability is impressive. Their approach to modular construction is providing customers with even more flexibility and ultimately less time on site, just to name a few benefits. We can look forward to Jessica learning more about Sarah's modular construction in coming episodes. Well, there you have it, another jam-packed episode. If we were looking for any more evidence that there's a lot going on in the building and construction industry here in SA, look no further than the great work being done by the team at Sarah. Thankfully though, there are others out there with more building ideas. So let's see what's on next week's show.
Terry explores a stunning Scott Salisbury home and also chats to some happy customers. I learn about the thoughtful measures and innovations you can implement in your home to create an inclusive environment for those living with autism. Plus, we learn about energy efficiency in the home and check the roofs and brickwork with the team at House Inspect Australia.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode, folks, and a special thanks to all of the show contributors. Be sure to check out their website or their social media pages if you want to know more about the great things that they're up to. Look forward to seeing you all again next week.